The girl was so poor that she could only wake up every day in a 3,000 square meter mansion, and had 100 maids waiting on her. Luxury goods were piled up in every corner of the house. Delicacies that were once rare were now on her table every meal. It turns out she had crossed over into a book. The original owner disliked her husband, who was mute. In the 3 months of their marriage, their communication didn't exceed 10 messages. This made the original owner feel crushed. Her heart was full of resentment and grievance, so she vented her emotions by speeding, and ended up dying in an accident. This allowed the girl, who had struggled in her real life, to be reborn as a rich wife, living in a mansion every day, and having so many maids waiting on her. It felt like a dream, so she treasured this hard-earned life, especially after seeing her mute husband's looks and physique. She decided she would never return to her old life. At that moment, the assistant handed her a divorce agreement. It turned out that the original owner had argued with her mute husband the night before and proposed a divorce. Now the divorce papers were ready, asking her to leave the house. The girl froze when she heard this. She didn't want to say goodbye to her newly acquired wealthy life, so she ripped up the divorce papers, and immediately chewed them up and swallowed them. Everyone was stunned by this scene, though they didn't understand why the girl had such a drastic change. The CEO still allowed everything to happen. That evening, as the girl prepared to sleep, she accidentally walked into the CEO's bathroom. She hadn't expected her mute husband to have such a great body. While the girl was sneaking a smile, the CEO quickly walked up to her, and before she could swallow her saliva, he stared at her intently, then slowly closed the bathroom door. Clearly, he thought of her as an inappropriate person. This made the girl feel a bit lost, but even though it was late at night, she still couldn't stop thinking about her mute husband. She kept reminding herself to stay rational, but just as she lay down, the CEO walked into the bedroom. To save face, the girl purposely moved to the edge of the bed, coldly telling the man that she would never cross the line, but just as she swore she wouldn't overstep. The moment the CEO turned off the light, the girl immediately opened her eyes and showed a victorious expression. In that instant, the cold and aloof CEO was completely stunned, and until morning, the man still hadn't adjusted to his wife's obsession with him. As the girl's hand dropped, she finally woke from her sleep. She then lied, claiming she was just dreaming, and even said she dreamed of petting a dog, firmly stating that she was a serious person. The CEO asked her to look at his masterpiece. The girl immediately gave a silly laugh, trying to brush it off. Luckily, the CEO didn't make things difficult for her, and simply left. However, just as the girl was feeling frustrated, the CEO had already arranged for the nanny to bring her a surprise. Looking at the wallet handed over to her, she hurriedly opened it. The next second, dozens of black cards fell out. This scene shocked the girl again. Thinking back to her previous life, where she used a 6-digit password to protect a single-digit balance, the girl suddenly felt that her current life was like a dream, so she decided she would stay with the man. Despite living a carefree life, the girl still wanted to be a responsible and sensible worker. She worked as a variety show director at a TV station, but after greeting her colleagues, she realized no one was willing to talk to her. She then understood that the original owner had a bad temper and had offended many people, so the girl took on the errands by herself. This shocked her colleagues, but when the girl happily